Lefkada is a beautiful island in the Ionian Sea, situated in the center of the Ionian Islands between Corfu and Cephalonia. With a population of 23,000 and an area of 302.5 square kilometers, it is the fourth largest of the Ionian Islands. Lefkada and the 20 or so islands that surround it form a cluster of islands. Meganisi, Kalamos, Kastos, Scorpios, Scorpidi, Madouri, Sparti, Thilia and Kythros administratively constitute the Prefecture of Lefkada, with 6 municipalities and 2 rural councils whose capital is the town of Lefkada. The island is so close to the western shores of Akarnania that a bridge of 50 meters links it directly to the mainland. A verdant island, an ideal combination of sea and mountain, Lefkada has become the favored destination of many tourists who love its magnificent beaches and mountain villages. The climate is Mediterranean, with many days of sunshine every year, mild winters with increased rainfall, and hot summers accompanied by cooling breezes. The name Lefkada is derived from the name of the Lefkada, the distant white rocks located off the southernmost peninsula of the island. In antiquity, these rocks were called white stones or white extremities, and tradition has it that the poetess Sappho put an end to her life by jumping off the sheer rocks into the sea because of her unrequited love for the beautiful Faunas. Life on the island can be traced back to Neolithic times. The Leleyes were meant to be the first inhabitants. Nirikos, south of the town of Lefkada, was one of the largest Greek cities in the 7th century BC. While the German archaeologist Derpfeld, as a result of significant finds of the early historical period he unearthed near Nidri, claimed that Lefkada was the Homeric Ithaca, the homeland of Odysseus. The Lefkadians made their presence felt in all the major historical events of the past. Historical sources mention them participating in the sea battle of Salamina, the Battle of Plataea, the Peloponnesian War, Alexander the Great's campaign, and the war against the Romans in the 3rd century BC. In the Byzantine period, Lefkada fared no differently from the rest of the Greek territory. In 1300, Giovanni Orsini built the fortress of Santa Maura at the entrance to the island. Today, it is considered a model of fortress craftsmanship of the Middle Ages and one of the most imposing castles. In subsequent centuries, the Franks, Venetians, Turks, French, and Russians had control of the island. The English held the island from 1815 to 1864, when Lefkada, like the rest of the Ionian Islands, was united with the motherland Greece. The morphology of the island, mountainous for the most part, with the highest peak reaching 1,182 meters, is very striking for the visitor. Narrow plateaus, fertile valleys, gorges with rich vegetation and mountain outcrops that drop abruptly to the sea, forming precipitous coasts, create stunning diversity in the landscape. The vegetation is lush and olive trees are scattered everywhere. On entering the town, the visitor is confronted by an endless olive grove with centuries-old olive trees, which gives the island a distinctive beauty. Cypress and pines grow everywhere, and in the center of the island, on Scorpios mountain, an unexpected beauty. A small forest with a rare variety of oak. Lefkada has an abundance of water, and often where it descends in torrents from the mountains, small waterfalls are formed, like here, in a spectacular gorge in Dimosari, near Nidri. Sand irises, the Arenaria lefkadia, and the sand bluebell. Rare flowers that grow wild on the beaches of Lefkada. The lagoon, north of the island, a very important biotope for many species of bird. It welcomes herons, swans, wild geese, and peewits. In the lagoon, there is the ivari, fish farming with traditional wicker baskets. The beaches of the island with their crystal clear waters, its most impressive feature. They have been voted the best in the Mediterranean, and each year they are awarded many blue flags by the European Union. On the west, the beaches are of great depth, impressive geological formations, and unique emerald sands. Here is located the famous Porto Katsiki, the beach hidden beneath tall rocks with clean, crystal clear waters and white sand is truly spectacular. Quite unforgettable and justly considered the best beach in the Mediterranean. Egremni, magical with its cold turquoise waters and golden sand, competes with the most popular beaches on the island. Kathisma, with its endless sand, is the second best-known beach on Lefkada and one of the 5 most popular in Greece. To the west, one can find other beaches like Milos, Agios Nikitas, and Pefkoulia, with clear, deep blue emerald waters. Traveling south, we find the Gulf of Vasiliki and Agiofili. Vasiliki, one of the most popular resorts in the Ionian, stretches along the beach of the same name and provides many facilities for the visitor, such as hotels, guest houses, and camping sites. The verdant landscape, with its magnificent beach, combined with the camping site, rooms to let, and every kind of shop, has made Vasiliki the favorite destination of many tourists, who return year after year. From its port, you can visit Agiofili, which is only accessible by boat. A small paradise of a bay with turquoise waters and fine sand. Near the town of Lefkada, Castro, Gira, and Ioannis. Many beaches, one after the other, along a narrow strip of white sand 7 kilometers in length that embraces the lagoon at the northern point of the island and makes the landscape unique. Castro, near the town, attracts many families who want to enjoy swimming in the pristine waters with every home comfort close at hand. Gira, beautiful and large, extends beyond the coast road and is distinctive because of its shape. Ioannis, with its natural blue colors, has wonderful shops and hotels and attracts many people. Behind the beach, the Venetian olive grove and Frini settlement. Superb accommodation, peaceful and green. On the eastern side, Lefkada has famous resorts, managed beaches, quiet, enjoyable waters, and many choices for the visitor. Ligia, Nikiana, Perigali, Vesimi, Mikros Gialos and Poros, and the cosmopolitan Nidri, famous throughout the world, are some that stand out. Nikiana, a seaside resort with a lot of greenery and blue waters that arouse the senses. Nearby is Perigali, yet another attractive place to have a swim. Next to it is Nidri, a very well-known tourist center. A magical view of the nearby islands, natural beauty, and all the comforts of an organized tourist region. From here, kayaks and ferries take visitors to other islands in the prefecture of Lefkada. Nidri and Scorpios, two well-known privately owned islands. Nidri, only 800 meters from Nidri, is covered in pines. On this island is the home of the great poet Aristotelis Valaoritis. Scorpios, 2 miles from Nidri, is linked with the happier moments of the Onassis family and their famous guests. Today, in this earthly paradise, lie the graves of the Greek Croesus and his 2 children, Alexandros and Christina. Near Nidri, the Bay of Licho and the peninsula of Agia Kyriaki, areas of particular natural beauty. The chapel of Agia Kyriaki and the peninsula of the same name. Its festival attracts many believers and visitors every year. Much further south, Mikros Gialos, a small mythical bay with deep blue waters. Four miles northwest of Nidri is Meganisi, the Sailor's Island. A hospitable, traditional community. In the 3 villages, Partochori, Katomeri and Vathi, travelers will find everything they need. And on the 3 beaches of Agios Ioannis, Spilia and Atherinos, they will be able to enjoy a swim. A site worth a visit is the cave of Papanikolis, on the northwest coast of the island. Here, the legendary submarine Papanikolis found refuge during World War II. Kalamos and Kastos, 2 verdant islands, complete the picture of the prefecture of Lefkada. In the harbour of Kalamos on the eastern side, many boats travelling in the Ionian tie up to visit the island and enjoy the seafood dishes at the beach tavernas or to shelter from bad weather. Kalamos has incredible natural beauty. It has small, mainly pebbled beaches with pristine waters and access mostly from the sea. South of the harbour, Agrapidia with its windmills, while near Episkopi we find Castro Monastiro, the castle of Kalamos. Tall stone walls with beautiful interior arches that become battlements on the outside. Only small sections of it remain intact today, and little is known about this impressive monument. It is said that the mother of one of the most famous fighters for Greece's independence, Karaiskakis, is buried here. South of Kalamos, Kastos, an island covered in olive trees and a unique fishing area. Dozens of boats sailing the Ionian Sea use it as a haven. It is for those who want a quiet, carefree holiday, as few visitors anchor here each year. In Lefkada, the choices are as numerous as its sea beauties. They summon us to discover them, and they promise unique experiences and pleasures. Sport lovers will find on the island every known sport. The strong winds that are prevalent on Lefkada particularly attract those who like windsurfing. The beach of Vasiliki to the south and Gialo to the north are two of their favorites. Athletes from all over the world meet up in Vasiliki, which has rightfully developed into one of the best beaches worldwide for windsurfing. In Nidri, more and more kitesurfs take to the air every year. Prefectural self-administration has embraced this new extreme sport, and each summer kitesurf competitions are held at Milos, with a large participation of Greek and foreign athletes. For those who like hang gliding, the slope above the beach of Kathisma is an ideal natural starting run to take off over one of the best-known beaches in Greece. Water ski, jet ski, fly fishing, canoeing, parasailing, banana. In cosmopolitan Nidri, almost all sports and games for sea or sky are available. Those who love diving will find plenty to explore here, the most beautiful and exciting seabed that exists in Greece. It is quite exceptional, rugged, and very impressive. The mountain area of Lefkada, the other face of the island. The gorges, lush vegetation, rare flowers. And picturesque virgin paths. Thrashing areas, watermills, simple stone-built houses, olive presses and chapels create ideal conditions for walks and excursions in the countryside. The gorge of Melissa in Scorpios, the forest of Daphne and other areas of the island are perfect for mountain biking. A bike tour of the lagoon near the town with its incomparable beauty makes an exhilarating trip. It passes through the Venetian castle of Agia Mavra, Gira, Mili, Ioannis, and reaches the town of Lefkada. In the olive grove of the town, horse riding schools promise unforgettable outings. For outings in the air, there is the Air Club in the town. Those who love model planes, and for those who just enjoy seeing from above the inaccessible sandy beaches, the picturesque fishing villages, and the impressive bays of Lefkada, this is where they should go. Foreigners who flock to Lefkada every summer find a fully integrated tourist infrastructure and first-class services. A safe road network and many small passable roads lead the visitor to the island's beauties. In Lefkada, there is a wide range of choices of accommodation. The visitor to the island will find super deluxe 5-star hotels. There is a lot of potential for development and conference tourism. There are also small and medium-sized hotel complexes, guest houses, rooms to let, and camping sites. All comfortable and clean, in lush surroundings and covered in bougainvillea, offer the highest quality service and hospitality. The many small family businesses that exist on the island succeed in creating a hospitable and familiar atmosphere for the visitors, who see Lefkada as their place and make a point of returning year after year to the island. The ultra-modern marina in the town, with a mooring capacity for 500 boats, opened the way for still more visits by boat. It has a control tower, office blocks and shops, a small hotel, a small craft repair and maintenance workshop, car parks and leisure centers, and plenty of greenery. A state-of-the-art construction that has made Lefkada a base for private boats that wish to explore the Ionian Sea. It also houses the premises of the island's naval club. Lefkada is also known for its many safe anchorages. In Nikiana, Lia, Periali, Nidri, Vliko, Vasiliki, Meganisi and Sivoda, Kalamos or in Kastos, you will certainly find your niche. Entertainment on the island never stops. It begins in the morning with sport and outings, and as the evening draws in, the hundreds of cafes, pubs and discos on Lefkada, the tempo rises and clubbing fever sets in as the adrenaline builds up in the visitors and they set out to have fun. Lefkada is a paradise for gourmet. The people of Lefkada have a very rich cuisine with traditional delights and choice hors d'oeuvres. A wide variety of delicious fresh fish in abundance from its sea and fish farms. Exceptional local sausages and salami, nougat, pastelli and local biscuits. thyme, honey, and virgin olive oil produced locally are both exceptional. Fish roe from the fish farm. Wine of the Vardzami variety, some of the best produced in our country. A liqueur from Rosalie, mint, rose, and the renowned traditional refreshment of Lefkada, sumada, made from bitter almonds. A wide variety of tastes and choices that you can try in cosmopolitan restaurants or in small, quaint tavernas by the sea. The building system in Lefkada is exceptionally anti-seismic, unique in Greece and Europe. Traditional multicolored houses and churches with brightly colored flowers that overflow from the gardens and flower pots brighten up the narrow alleys. The layout of the town of Lefkada has its roots in the 17th century. In the town, the small two-story wooden-framed buildings with wooden balconies and tiled roofs and narrow alleys between them. Usually, the upper floor was of wood and mud, while the lower was of stone, thus creating a unique anti-seismic structure. As the years passed, the upper part became even lighter and was covered with sheets of metal which were painted various soft colors, a technique that is still used today. Many houses in the historical center of the town still have sheets of metal, or the ponzo, the small wood-paneled balcony, which is very distinctive of Lefkadian architecture. During the difficult years of foreign influence, the churches and monasteries helped to keep Hellenism and Orthodoxy alive in Lefkada. The island is scattered with monasteries and chapels. Asomatos in Vafkeri, Ai Pateres in Alexandros, Kokini Church in Platistomo, Agios Georgios Karon, Agios Ioannis in Livadi Karias, and Agios Nikolos on the Cape of Niras. The town has innumerable churches of the Ionian rhythm, with carved wooden shrines and exceptional hagiography, like Agios Spiridonas, Panagia ton Xenon, Panagia ton Isodion, and Agios Nikolos. Important too is the chapel of Agios Minas of the 18th century, with an exceptional shrine and wonderful holy paintings. The church of Pantokratoras in the center of the town is of outstanding significance. The holy paintings are the works of renowned Ionian hagiographers, while behind the pulpit is the grave of our national poet Aristotelis Valaoritis. 2.5 kilometers west of the town, above the coast, is Agios Ioannis to Anzousi, the first, tradition has it, church in Lefkada. The Apostle Paul celebrated Mass there on his way to Rome. In the olive grove north of the town, we find the historic church of La Hierena. Here, on Carnival Sunday in 1821, the chieftains and notables of Rumeli gathered. They swore allegiance to the struggle for independence from the Turkish yoke, and the immediate declaration of the revolution in their region. The Holy Bible on which they swore their oath still survives today. 3 kilometers from Lefkada, on the top of a hill, with a view of Hira and the coasts opposite, is the church of Panagia Ifaneromeni. The monastery was built in the middle of the 17th century and got its name from the icon of the Virgin, which appeared unmade by human hand to the holy monk and hagiographer Kallistos after he had prayed. Today, Panagia Faneromeni is the main pilgrimage site for the people of Lefkada and is considered the protector of all Lefkadians. With a distinctly Lefkadian color, the great feasts are celebrated on the island. On Good Friday, Christ's coffin is paraded through the main streets of the town, accompanied by the Philharmonic Orchestra. The next day, on Easter Saturday in the morning, the Philharmonic Orchestra plays in the streets to usher in the coming of the resurrection. And the Lefkadians, keeping with tradition, throw small clay objects called pieces into the streets. In the Archaeological Museum in the town of Lefkada, there are finds from local excavations. In Nidri, about 30 royal tombs of the 12th century BC were found. Other finds from Hyrospilia in Evgiro, south of the island, and votive offerings that were discovered in a cave near Frini, a short distance from the town. There are also other finds from recent excavations in Kariotis, which are probably from the classical or Hellenistic periods. In the town, there is also the folk museum of Orpheus, Pandazis Kondomichis, with important works of folk art of the island. Old maps and photographs, household utensils and tools from bygone years, traditional costumes, exquisite embroideries of many centuries, and a superb loom that is perhaps 200 years old. One room of the museum portrays a traditional village bedroom of Lefkada. Another very good folk museum is in Kavalos, in the municipality of Sfakiotes. Here, the exhibits have to do mainly with the life and character of the mountain people of Lefkada. The Municipal Hall of Art in the Charamoglios Lefkadian Library in the town. The collection house here is mentioned in the Guinness Book of Records. It is the work and donation of Telis Charamoglis, with 29,000 books and prints dealing exclusively with Lefkada and its people. In the neoclassical building of the public library, the remarkable archives with historical books, documents and maps complete the exceptional art gallery of post-Byzantine Heptanesian art. In the town, there is also the Phonographic Museum, a small private museum with phonographs, records, rare items, decorations, tools, boxes, stamps, paper money, as well as old postcards. A small treasure, a living witness to days gone by. The Lefkadians are a vibrant and hospitable people and are very welcoming to visitors. The traditional customs are kept alive till today and give the island a distinctive colour, such as the walk in the paved square the Lefkadians have always loved doing. At the festivals and feasts of each village, the manners and customs are carried on from one generation to the next, and here the visitor can discover the soul and special character of the local people. Hard-working and imaginative, the Lefkadians have managed to make the arid soil of their island fertile and productive. Working hard, with patience and persistence for their land, they have hewn the rocky land without leaving a single piece of land uncultivated. With limited tools, they dug the slopes of the mountains and created terraces like gigantic steps held up with dry stone walling. There they cultivated and still cultivate vines and other things necessary for their food, such as chickpeas, broad beans, and lentils. Especially famous are the lentils cultivated in Englouvi. They are considered the best produced in Greece and have won prizes many times. In Englouvi, there are also remnants of the volti, domed stone buildings, where in the past farmers used to keep their crops and animals. The traditional shipyards of Liko. They are among the few in the whole of Greece that continue to make boats in the traditional way, and the work of the craftsmen is in great demand. The construction of the Lefkada Theatre Hall is a major undertaking, closely connected to the aspirations, the Heptanesian traditions, and the cultural identity of the island. The creation and operation of this theatre hall aims to have a year-round program of events that will include appearances by foreign and domestic artists and ensembles, activities organized by cultural and academic institutions, and performances offered by conservatories, dance troupes, and theatre groups, as it will be both a concert hall and a multiple-use space. In Lefkada, the festivals of literature and art and the International Folklore Festival take place every year with the same success they have had for the last 50 years. The festivals of literature and art include speeches, discussions, theatrical performances, and musical activities. A long tradition of cultural activity with events that every summer offer moments of deep emotion and subtle nuances of the senses, both for the Lefkadians and visitors to the island. It is the vehicle that lends the whole island a brilliance, displaying to a very high degree what the island has to offer to our country in the field of culture. Dozens of contemporary artists and intellectuals, among them the famous Greek soprano Maria Callas, have taken part in the festivals through the years. In the International Folklore Festival, the participation of dance troupes from all over the world has made Lefkada a place of friendship and brotherhood among peoples. The melodic sounds of traditional music flood the island as young people from all over the world dance and sing in each municipal department. Music and dance highlight the potential for a harmonious coexistence between individuals and the peoples of the world. The foundation of the Philharmonic Orchestra in 1850, for those less well off in Lefkada, was a truly daring decision. It reflected, however, the Lefkadians' love of music, and it has proved to have been the right decision. Still today, choirs, mandolin orchestras and bands are always willing to appear in the squares and streets of the island at every chance and for every event. Musical images that the visitor to the island will see frequently, and the merry serenaders who sing in the picturesque tavernas. The renowned karsanika, handmade embroideries and woven materials, superb examples of Lefkadian art, whose main center of production is the mountain market town of Karya. It is a very special embroidery technique that is not practiced in any other region of Greece. It is the idea and creation of the women of Karya from which it took its name. Here, each year in August, with great fun and dancing, is reenacted the traditional Lefkadian wedding with all of its traditional ceremony. Lefkada has produced great intellectual figures who have distinguished themselves in the field of letters, arts and sciences. Of the four great national poets, two, Aristotelis Valaoritis and Angelos Nikianos, were born, lived and created in Lefkada. Another great intellectual, the national poet of Japan, Lefkadius Hearn, was of Lefkadian descent, which is clear from his name. Agnes Balsa, Theodoros Stamos, Nikos Voronos, the brothers Zabeli, and Nanos Valaoritis all come from Lefkada. The visitor to Lefkada will have no difficulty getting there. It is the only island that can be reached by road across the bridge that joins it with the mainland of Akarnania opposite. For that reason, it is called the mainland island. Lefkada is just 380 kilometers from Athens and 420 from Thessaloniki. Regular services by public bus transport connect the island with the two large towns. The opening of the Rio Andirio Bridge has facilitated access to the island considerably from southern Greece and Athens. From northern Greece and Thessaloniki, access is easy through the submarine tunnel of Aktio, as well as from the port of Igoumenitsa, which is 100 kilometers from Lefkada, and is the gateway for visitors to the island from Western and Central Europe. By aeroplane from Athens, there are daily flights to Aktio, which is just 18 kilometers from the town of Lefkada. There is also an air connection to Aktio with Thessaloniki, Kerkyra, Kefalonia, Zakynthos and Sitia. Finally, ferry boats from Nidri and Vasiliki connect Lefkada with Ithaki and Kefalonia. Kayaks and ferries sail daily to Meganisi, and in the summer, tourist boats do outings to the small islands of Scorpios, Sparti and Madouri. This is Lefkada, the muse of Greek and foreign poets from antiquity to today. the mainland island with its beautiful beaches, mountain wealth, and above all, beautiful and hospitable people. It is worth getting to know firsthand. It will be an unforgettable experience.